Ten.
Stand by to take studio.
7, 6.
Stand by camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Good afternoon, and welcome to another episode of MCTV. My name is Darian Petrie.
And I am Evan Clues. On today's show, we'll be looking at the Drum Circle and Phys Ed 2030. But first, our top story.
Every year, people dye their hair pink in an event known as the Hair Massacre. Participants shave off their locks in order to raise money for cancer research. Held at West Edmonton Mall, hundreds of people take part every year. We sent reporter Tim Evans to talk to organizers, participants, and even the premier.
Pink dogs, a pink bear. What's going on? It's the Hair Massacre, of course. I got Premier Ed Stelmach to explain what was going on and what it was supporting.
Well, this is a tremendous booster event for more dollars going into cancer research, especially at the Stoller Children's Hospital for the oncology department. Some of the funds will go to Make-A-Wish Foundation and others to support McDonald House, the Northern Alberta. But this is a great event to support children that are really battling cancer, and they need all the strength, not only within themselves, but from family and friends that have gathered here. And it just really helps them with the confidence and the energy to go through a very significant challenge in their life.
Tammy McDonald explained who inspired this event.
Our daughter Kelly was the first inspiration, and over the years we've met many others that keep inspiring us. Kelly was diagnosed with leukemia when she was 2, and she had a 3-year battle with cancer, and it was harsh, brought the family down, and she lost her childhood, and she was critical for a long time. And now she's 12 and has braces, and she's not cured, which is sad. I wish I could say, but she's still in remission, and we're here because we'd like to have a cure.
City TV's Bridget Ryan has been covering this event for 8 years. She told me about her experience with the event.
Excellent interview with young. It's a great event. I love supporting it. I remember the first year it was at the post office, where it was just some postal workers who in between shifts did this with Gord and the McDonald family. Second year back at the post office. Then third year moves into West Edmonton Mall Phase 1, more of a 24-hour event. For a couple of years they tried it 24. I remember reporting and going live from the whole thing for 24 hours with them. And then it morphed into this size and moving into the Ice Palace, and it being a 9 to 9 event, not on Valentine's Day anymore. But certainly, the whole event is around Valentine's Day because you got to have heart.
Edmonton Eskimo Kyle Kosh got his head shaved by Premier Ed Stelmach.
Oh, it's great. It's just great that we can be a part of it in any way. It's for a great cause, and I'll shave my head any day for this kind of thing.
It's actually a warm razor. I don't know, it feels warm. Such a nice hairdresser to shave my hair for me. It's pretty sweet. Why does everybody shave their head? It's because you care, right? Everybody was kind of willing to donate right away. Like all the friends you talk to, they were, yeah, I'll give money for sure, right? Like people who don't want to actually shave their head, they're still willing to donate.
For MCTV News, this is Tim Evans reporting.
We will now be talking about the Drum Circle. As a lot of us know, the Drum Circle goes on every Thursday morning in front of the main doors. And the music they make is worth waking up early to come listen to. We sent Robert McIntyre to cover the story. He got interviews with Mr. Nolan and kids that help out with the Drum Circle.
Hello everybody. Normally before school starts, MCHS is quiet in the morning. However, every Thursday morning, that silence is broken by the steady rhythm of drums. Led by the teacher, Mr. Nolan. We asked him about the weekly Drum Circle.
The purpose of the drum circle that runs Thursday mornings is to give anyone who feels inspired to come and build on community, to join us, to make some rhythms, to work with other people, and just to give a lift to the entire school population that day. Everybody's invited to come, and we just come together and play for about half an hour.
I think it's good. I think it's a good idea. I like doing it every Thursday morning. I know on a personal level, it wakes me up for school, and it works good because I usually have basketball those days. But I like getting together with the other people, and just kind of everyone does their own thing, but it still sounds cool.
I think they like it. Sean really gets into it. Sean Bollinger, he gets into it. There's a couple of people there that really get into it, and it's just an overall positive experience.
Oh, I love it. It's a blast. I look forward to it every week. Probably the best part of my week. I think everyone loves it. You can just see the people's faces there. Everyone stands around the circle watching. Everyone gets excited when we're going, and when we're done, we always get a nice applause from everybody. So I think everyone really likes it. It's a good way to start off the day. Gets a lot of energy flowing through the school. So.
And that's all for the Drum Circle. And this has been Robert McIntyre reporting.
The past couple of weeks have been a little cold, but nothing we can't handle.
In fact, the weather is supposed to be set to warm up later this week.
With the weekend not too far away, here's MCTV meteorologist Jeff Holmes.
Well, thanks, Evan and Darian, and hi to everybody out there. We'll start with the Canada weather. Over on the west coast, 10 degrees and raining today in Vancouver, 2 degrees in Regina, sunny. Sunny as well throughout the prairies, most of the southern prairies anyways. In Winnipeg, -2. Southern Ontario, raining and 6 degrees. In Montreal, sort of a mix of snow and rain, slush, 3 degrees. 1 degree in Halifax, and -3 degrees all the way over on the east coast in St. John's, Newfoundland. Up north, quite a bit colder. In northern Alberta, temperatures quite a bit cooler than they are here, -18 in High Level, -17 in Grand Prairie, -15 in Fort McMurray, and generally snowing all the way down into Jasper. Here in the Edmonton region, it's -7 and light snow. We'll talk more about that in a moment. In southern Alberta, sunny, rain, a little bit of rain in Banff at 6 degrees, Calgary at 11, Medicine Hat at 7. And looking at the current conditions in Morinville, currently -11 and snowing, light wind from the east at 15 kilometers an hour, relative humidity at 85%. Days are starting to get a little bit longer, and next week, as Evan and Darian were saying, warming up by 3 degrees or 2 degrees on Monday and Tuesday of next week. Looks like a pretty nice weekend. And now back to you, Evan and Darian.
Thanks, Jeff. Now we'll switch gears and take a look at the Phys Ed 2030 report. This class is only for grades 11 and 12, and it involves different sports and activities. We sent reporter Braden Rook to interview people on how they think the class is going so far this year.
Physical education is something that needs to be focused on almost every day. Here at MCHS, we offer a course that gives students in grades 11 and 12 a chance to experience what it's like to be physical every day. The Phys Ed 2030 course runs Monday through Friday during blocks 7 and 8, where you'll find students playing games and staying active. I spoke to the teachers that run the course to get more details about what is offered.
Oh, we have a lot of variety in Phys Ed 20 and 30 compared to Phys Ed 9 and 10. Some of the big ones that we do only in Phys Ed 20 and 30 are golf, taking them to the pool, bowling, cross-country skiing off-site, so we go to different places for it.
We still play soccer and a lot of the basic sports that we did in grade 9, 10, but they get some additional things. They go on more trips. For our cross-country skiing unit, we take them to St. Albert or wherever we need to go. So they get some additional activities to the basic ones that we offered before, and it's pretty enjoyable for them. So.
But how do the students feel about the course and having gym every day?
It's a lot of work, and I like to be athletic, and I like to do working out, playing sports, and I just love being physical.
Being someone that plays sports all year round, I like to stay fit, and it seems that like the Phys Ed 2030 class really maintains that feature. And also, it's just fun with a group of friends, just playing games basically.
Seeing as how Phys Ed 2030 is an optional course, I asked both Mr. Rovine and Mr. Lessard what makes kids want to take this class again, and how the class helps keep these kids in shape.
I think it comes down to an interest in and love for the physical activity part of Phys Ed. Because it's one of the easier courses in the school too. There's not a lot of homework. They get to stay physically active and they have fun doing it. So I think the combination of all of them wants them to make them stay in Phys Ed.
Well, I think people like being part of physical education because it's you have fun in there. You get to do activities that maybe you don't do every day, and just to stay healthy. I think a lot of kids want to stay healthy and active. Sitting in the classroom all day, sometimes your body needs to get out there and get moving, and that's what Phys Ed's about. So,
I think Phys Ed 2030, it forces them to be active. Given the choice, most kids don't want to stay active if they're not playing hockey or being on a sports team. A lot of the kids that we have in Phys Ed 2030 are also the athletes that are outside school, and they do also play sports, but it keeps them active if they're not, stops them from sitting on the couch eating potato chips and chocolate bars.
some of what we do is try to test their fitness, and hopefully we see some improvement throughout the year. The more times you're active during a week, the better shape you're going to be in. So this is just one aspect. You can't just do Phys Ed and expect to stay in good shape, but it'll help for sure.
Another experience that is offered in Phys Ed 2030 is the leadership hours. I got Kent Lessard to give us some more details on the subject and asked the opinion of some of the students.
Leadership hours, this is an important part of our Phys Ed program. We know that we're trying to develop citizens that are going to contribute to their communities, and doing leadership hours will help make them realize that there's a lot of events that are organized throughout the community and in the school that need volunteers, and they get to develop some skills while they're there, whether it be scorekeeping or dealing with people. So there's a lot of positive things that can happen through volunteerism, and you feel like you're part of it. So it's an excellent opportunity for kids to get involved.
Well, they're good experience on trying to be part of the community and trying to help out with everyone, and that way everyone knows that you can be a good guy or girl and know how to take your part.
It's really good. It really builds the community, and it helps kids build character and helps them become more mature.
With all this in mind, both teachers left us with some final words and a little bit of advice.
No, I just think Phys Ed's an awesome opportunity for kids to, burn off some steam and have some fun at the same time. So I'd like to see more and more students take Phys Ed 2030.
It's definitely a class that they should take. If they're serious about staying in shape and serious about doing those sports and having fun during those sports, then they should take 2030. If they're just in it to fool around, then they should. It makes it a lot more enjoyable for the kids that are in it if they're serious about it. We have a good group behind us that are serious about it, and it makes it enjoyable to teach also.
Here, for MCTV News, I'm Braden Rock.
As most people know, this weekend marks the start of daylight savings time. On Sunday morning, everyone in Alberta turns their clocks ahead an hour. To discuss the pros and cons of this annual event is Greg Battison with his segment, That's My Beef.
Despite the weather outside, I truly love this time of year. Spring is just around the corner, and nothing says that more than the return of daylight savings time. This Sunday morning at 2 a.m., most provinces across the country moved their clocks ahead by 1 hour. Dating back to Benjamin Franklin in the 1770s, the idea of daylight savings time stemmed from the fact that the sun was up for a time while most people were still asleep in the morning. The solution? Push the clock ahead 1 hour in springtime, forcing them to wake up earlier. Daylight savings time was first officially used in Germany in 1915 and then quickly adopted by much of Europe, Canada, and the U.S. In 2007, legislation in the U.S. moved the start of daylight savings time back 3 weeks in March and 1 week later in November. The change was aimed to try to save energy, seeing as people wouldn't need their lights on as early in the evening. The news, however, is not all good. Swedish researchers have shown that moving clocks ahead in the spring increases the rate of heart attacks in the week after the springing forward, especially during the first 3 days. As well, German researchers have found that night owls are likely to feel sleep deprived for weeks after the change in March. A statistic that fails to be discussed are all the percentages of clocks that don't get changed. Having spent a number of years in school environments, this constantly seems to be a problem. There's always that one clock that has the wrong time on it for a month or two after daylight savings time begins. Nothing says you're on top of your classroom like a clock that hasn't been changed. Myself, the clocks in my studio have already been turned back, so I don't have to worry about it next week. To the staff in the building, I ask the following. Please turn your clocks in your classrooms ahead 1 hour this afternoon or tomorrow during staff meeting. It's such a simple task, and there's no way that a student can say to you on Monday morning, "I'm not late." The clock on your wall says I'm early. I'm Mr. B, and that's my beef.
Well, that's the show for this week.
Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to watch again next week for our next episode.
On our next show, we will bring you all the news before you go to spring break.
Sounds good. Jeff, how's the weather looking for the rest of the week?
Well, it's certainly looking a lot better than it did today. It looks like it'll be warming up towards the beginning or definitely by the middle of next week.
So there you have it. From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Darian Petrie.
I'm Evan Clues.
And I'm Jeff Holmes. Have a great afternoon.
Stay classy,
Mornville.